We begin with breaking news from Washington, where the Senate has agreed unanimously to pass a bill forcing the Justice Department to release all files related to its investigation of convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. That's after the House of Representatives passed the bill by a vote of 427 to 1. President Donald Trump has already signaled that he will sign the bill once it gets to his desk, but it remains uncertain if federal prosecutors will unveil any documents shedding new light on Epstein's relationship with Trump, who claims he broke ties with the financier long ago.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed.
All but one member of the House signed off on a bill that just months ago seemed like a pipe dream. But persistent pressure from within the Republican Party and the public changed the equation. Jeffrey Epstein was convicted on prostitution charges in 2008, before being charged with sex trafficking minors in 2019. Later that year, he killed himself in prison while awaiting trial. While there are questions about the source of his wealth and how he managed to abuse so many girls for so long, conspiracy theories focus on the late financier's death and speculate if one of his powerful former friends ordered his killing. The bill would require the US Justice Department to release all files and communications related to Jeffrey Epstein within 30 days, as well as details from the investigation into his death.
I want everybody to take a look. I know everybody sees us today as grown adults, but we are fighting for the children that were abandoned and left behind in the reckoning. This is who you're fighting for. This is who Congress is fighting for. This is who the House of Representatives are fighting for, and hopefully the Senate will fight for us too.
The last step before the bill can become law is the signature of the president himself, who reaffirmed that he had no relationship with Epstein.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, as far as the Epstein files I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert.
The bill's passage was a major win for survivors in their quest for justice.
Earlier, I spoke to Larry Sabato, who is a professor of politics at the University of Virginia in the U.S. I started by asking him, how close are we to actually seeing the Epstein files?
Well, we'll see something relatively quickly because there is a 30-day time limit in the bill. But that doesn't mean we're going to see everything. The Trump people and the Trump Justice Department decided to open an investigation just a few days ago into, quote, Democrats who were involved in the Epstein activities. And what that does is it freezes some documents. They can't be released as long as an investigation is underway. So we'll see how much we actually get. We'll see whether all the documents are still there. We'll never know for sure, as we have in so many other federal investigations. Things disappear. They're misplaced. It's really remarkable. But this is a tremendous turnaround for Donald Trump. He was forced to give in because he was going to be embarrassed. He was going to lose by a wide margin, including in his own party, which he has controlled tightly since he got into his second term.
Well, before we get into more details about what we're actually going to see, let's talk about the political question, because as you said, this was a big reversal. President Trump had the power to release the files all along. So this passing of the bill almost unanimously in both houses of Congress is really about Congress trying to force Trump to do something that he doesn't want to do, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you see, Trump thought that just as in every other case since he's taken office again, he could bully the Republican Congress to follow his wishes, and they would, in the end, do so. He even dragged one Republican congresswoman into the Situation Room at the White House, where wars are run from, to try and convince her to change her vote. she refused to do so, and that was pretty much the standard among Republicans until they all caved in today, and it became almost unanimous. One Republican continued to back Trump.
And why, in your assessment, are Republicans who have so long been marching in lockstep with Trump turning against him seemingly on this issue?
They're turning against him because their own base in their districts and states, same people who voted for Trump, are saying they absolutely cannot support this because anyone involved in trafficking of young girls must be exposed and punished for it. And in the end, votes matter more than presidential pressure. And those votes can either elect or defeat any member of Congress when they're running for re-election and they have to get renominated in a primary.
And we've seen political scandals involving Trump and sexual abuse come and go. He's been convicted in a New York court of sexual abuse. What makes this different? Why do you think Trump is seemingly worried about the Epstein files?
Because they were underage girls. That really is the major difference. In the other cases that we know of and that we've seen publicly, it's someone who is considerably above the age of 18. Not that that should necessarily make all the difference, and I don't think it has here. But these young women are now, of course, in their 40s and 50s in some cases. And they were very affecting, going on television, giving interviews. By the way, many of them are Republican, and believe it or not, they voted for Trump. So this was not as partisan as many people thought it was going to be.
Larry Sabato from the University of Virginia, thanks for talking to us.